There are new concerns Iran could launch a retaliatory attack on U.S. soil. An FBI memo says Iran could launch drones at California in what it describes as a seaborne surprise attack. However, law enforcement and intelligence officials are clear there is no immediate threat right now. This memo stemmed from an apparent tip that surfaced before the conflict even began. I want to bring in CBS News Homeland Security correspondent Nicole Sganga. So, Nicole, obviously, this came out yesterday. Immediately, everyone was like, wait, what? Especially the folks I was talking to in California. What did this memo say? And is the intelligence credible?
Yeah, Kelly, this raised a lot of eyebrows among law enforcement and intelligence officials we were speaking to, at least in part because in the beginning, calling the White House, the Department of Homeland Security and others, they didn't know about this memo, which tells you that it was a lower level information sharing memo that has not proven to be credible at this time. The FBI says it has no information on the timing, method, target, or perpetrators of this alleged attack. Now, the memo warned of the possibility of a surprise attack using a drone or an unmanned aerial vehicle from a vessel off the U.S. coast. But again, it stemmed from unverified intelligence that surfaced from even before the Iranian conflict began and was circulated among California law enforcement officials from the FBI's LA division about a week ago. So we do want to, sort of alleviate some of the concerns that folks in California might be feeling right now. That being said, we should talk about what a tenuous time it is for the U.S. homeland right now. And last month, the Department of Homeland Security did put out a critical incident report. And there are some concerns that Iranian-aligned actors could be launching cyber attacks against the United States. And of course, there is this constant concern that has been heightened now about Iranian-inspired isolated incidents of violence.
All right, so DHS, Nicole, as you know, would normally be the one to investigate and potentially stop an attack like this. But is there any concern with the leadership change, or at least the upcoming leadership change? There has to be Senate confirmation hearings, and of course the funding that has dried up because of the partial government shutdown.
Yeah, there's a lot of concern. I'll tell you, one of the biggest concerns right now is that CISA, which is the top cyber defense agency in the country, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency that is tasked with monitoring for any threats in the cyber realm to critical infrastructure, water, power, electric, hospitals. They are at about a third of their usual staffing right now. About 2/3 of that agency is furloughed amid the government shutdown. We've also been reporting on some of the other challenges throughout the many components with under DHS. 300 TSA officers have quit just since this latest shutdown started, and we are starting to see operational hotspots emerging at airports throughout the country. We also did see a cyber incident that was reported just yesterday by a major medical devices company, Stryker, who says that their global IT network was targeted, and cybersecurity researchers say that an Iranian-linked group known as Handala has claimed credit for that attack. So yes, of course, a lot of concerns regarding the Department of Homeland Security, and anytime you have, a leadership handoff, concerns about really who's driving the ship and whether or not they're warning Americans and making clear what the real threats to the homeland are.
All right, Nicole, really appreciate the context here.